since night. There's the tail of the tape. Alexander, 31, Takaloo, 28, maybe a bit younger and fresher. Same height, same reach. Both made the 11-stone limit. Remember, Alexander flirted with middleweight for a while. He's back where he belongs now. Alexander a pro for 9 years. Takaloo since 1997. Haven't had too many fights. They haven't been that busy. Not too many miles on the clock. Alexander, for me, is the one that's boxed at slightly the better level. Look at the knockout percentages there. Pretty high. They can both dig, these two. Particularly Alexander, who was known as a one-punch knockout artist earlier on in his career. Odds, surprising there. Takaloo 11-4 on. Alexander 15-8 against. Some people might think that's value in what some people would see as a pick and fight. The draw's 33-1. Joe Calzagi's here. A lot of the fighters are here tonight. A lot of them are friends of these two as well. They know them well. This is a real buzzing fight for the trade. There's a big fight atmosphere, Jim.
Yeah, there's a big fight atmosphere. Well, this is a fight we've been waiting 2 years to see. The light middleweight division seemed to be becoming the division where the best did not meet the best. Well, it's happening tonight, thankfully. They both have losses on their cards in recent fights, which is a pity, but it's still a massive fight.
Here's our MC, Michael Pass.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, good evening and welcome to the legendary York Hall here in Bethnal Green, East London. Tonight, Frank Warren's Sports Network and www.frankwarren.tv proudly present 12 3-minute rounds of boxing for the vacant WBU's Light Middleweight Championship of the World. Welcome to you, the viewer, watching live and exclusively on Sky Sports Friday Fight Night. The officials this evening have been appointed by the World Boxing Union and the British Boxing Board of Control. Commissioner at ringside for the World Boxing Union, Tom Fostervall. Area representative from the British Boxing Board of Control, Cecil Ross. Timekeeper at the bell, Mr. Nick White from Kingston upon Thames. The 3 scoring judges at ringside are all from England: Larry O'Connell, Carl Rogers and Reg Thompson. Finally, when the action commences this evening, the man in charge taking part in his 115th world title contest, star referee, Mr. Mickey Van from Leeds. And so, ladies and gentlemen, on to the championship contenders themselves. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the solid black shorts trimmed with white. At the weigh-in yesterday, he scaled 10 stones, 13 pounds and 7 ounces. His excellent record reads this evening: 22 contests, 20 wins. 16 of those wins coming by way of knockout with only 2 defeats. He comes to the ring as the former undefeated light middleweight champion of Great Britain and Europe, presenting from Croydon, Wayne, the Great Alexander. And opposing him, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the silver cloth shorts trimmed with black, white and red. At the weigh-in yesterday, he scaled 10 stones, 13 pounds and 10 ounces. He also has an excellent record: 26 contests, 22 wins, 17 of those wins coming by way of knockout with only 4 defeats. He comes to the ring as the former 2-time WBU light middleweight champion of the world, presenting from Margate, Takaloo. Referee, Mr. Mickey Van, with his final instructions. 12 rounds.
Right, Tack, stay there. Right, you both had your instructions in the dressing room. Remember what I told you, I want no notice with the head. Shake hands, buddy corners, good luck. Hello, fellas.
And while those introductions were going on, both of those fighters were eyeballing each other. They sparred hundreds of rounds together. By common consent, Alexander usually got the best of the rounds. That was early in his career, but Takaloo did deck him one day. They both admit that too. What happens now as they fight for real later on in their careers? Alexander in the black trunks with the name of his baby daughter Sade emblazoned on his trunks. Takaloo trying to win this WBU title, his fringe title, for the 3rd time. Great to see two of the better domestic operators in this division meeting each other. It doesn't happen often enough. More of the same, please.
Well, they both know each other's styles very well because of the sparring, so there shouldn't be too much of a scouting mission, but I expect them both to be very cagey in the early stages.
Good left hand from Alexander, who's always been a big puncher right the way through his career. He can shake you up, he can blast his way out of trouble, but he's been down in his last 2 fights himself. Howard Clark had him down, the journeyman, in his last fight. Howard is a journeyman these days, although Alexander got up to win that. But a bad defeat against Delroy Mellis for Alexander, when he claims he lost 2 stones in 6 weeks before that, part of his lazy, complacent phase, he says. He's trained 10 weeks for this under new trainer John Green in Belfast. Is this a reborn Wayne Alexander? He'll need to be.
See, I think one of Alexander's problems, he tends to take punches flush on. He doesn't ride them, he doesn't partially block them. His chin is too high at times. He takes chances, which is what makes him so exciting. And I think that's why most of the bookies are tilting towards Takaloo. He's a slightly better defence, and maybe that little bit. There he goes. He takes a full flush on the chin.
And a body shot as well. He's got a bit of a dig with both hands as Takaloo. He's fit and strong and determined. You can outbox him, and I think that too is part of the Alexander camp's plan. Let's just see how this evolves. Just that suspicion that maybe Takaloo is the more durable of the two these days.
See, Alexander is most vulnerable when he's throwing his own punches. His chin seems to come up so he can see what he's doing. He's really vulnerable to counter punches.
Alexander still ranked number 12 in the world by the WBO, but here's something. Boxing Monthly, one of the trade magazines, have him number 12 in Britain now after his defeat against Mellis. That might be a bit low and cruel. Good right hand from Takaloo there over the top.
Well, they've both been defeated recently, but I think Alexander's was by far the bigger shot.
These two know each other so well. There's been a lot of banter in the build-up to this.
Well, cagey opening round, not too much happening.
Welcome back to a very atmospheric York Hall at Bethnal Green in East London. Wayne Alexander and Takaloo, a pretty even opening round. Hard to separate them, Jim.
I couldn't separate them in the opening round. I think Alexander tried to take the initiative a little bit, but he left himself open, so any of his own good work was negated. That scored the first round level.
It was a good right hand there, wasn't it, by Takaloo? Just seemed to go through to Alexander's legs a bit. Alexander, the former British and European champion, though he never got a chance to defend that European title, in the black trunks here. 3 years older than Takaloo. He's only had 5 fights in the last 3 years, Alexander. Not enough. And injuries along the way for him, and 1 or 2 business problems.
Well, you only have to look at Takaloo's wide stance to know what he's trying to do here. He's just trying to be cagey, draw Alexander onto one of these counters. But it cuts down your mobility when your legs are splayed as much as that. He could find one of those right hands getting through.
Alexander has predicted that this won't go beyond 6 rounds. He thinks he'll have the job done by then. Both of them, I think, quite respectful of the other's power. They all know about that from their time working together in the gym.
See, Alexander's just stalking at the moment, but he has to show some feints, force Takaloo into opening up a little bit. That was better. Good attack from Alexander.
2 good left hands from him. Gets through with the jab as well, and body punches. Pretty good this from Alexander. Nice rhythm about this, growing in confidence.
But his defences are non-existent. Look, I mean, if Takaloo comes back with a hook, he has no defences whatsoever when he goes on to the attack. That is one of his big failings.
Whether Takaloo can be effective as a counter-puncher to take advantage of that, we'll see. But that was a good burst on the front foot from Wayne Alexander, which is where he always looks happy. That's a good body shot from Takaloo. Back he comes, gets in right crosses as well. And Alexander's head is an open target. He's leaving himself over, but look at that! A left hook, and that might be curtains! That might be good night! It's over.
The fight's over.
The fight is over. No need to count. They're getting out the gum shield, and Wayne Alexander explodes back to the forefront of the domestic scene, and Takaloo doesn't know where he is. That is what he can do.
Well, just like Nigel Benn a few years before, he's most dangerous when he's been hurt himself. He took a tremendous body shot. At a time I was thinking Alexander grabbed hold of Takaloo, stopped him working, but being a natural puncher, he came out with a devastating left hook. We can see Takaloo here. This will be a precaution. Mickey Van acted very swiftly, hold him onto his side. So it's quite possible he wants to rise, but they're keeping him down. It looks as though he knows what's going on here. He probably wants to rise, but as a precaution, they're keeping him down there. But that was a tremendous punch.
That was a sensational knockout by Wayne Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, attention please. Could security please clear the ring so the paramedics can do their job? Thank you.
Let's hope that Takaloo is okay.
Please clear the ring.
Because that was a bad knockout, Jim.
Yep, a one-punch finish, bang on the chin. I mean, that must have shaken his brain tremendously. It was a tremendous punch. I mean, this man has natural power. He doesn't have to wind up the punches. And you saw exactly. I think Takaloo, provided everything is all right with him, and these are just precautions we're looking at, I think he'll regret the fact that he was so cagey and didn't try to take the initiative. You should never back away from a natural puncher. He pushed him on the back foot. Takaloo didn't try to do that. Here he comes. Thankfully, we can now talk about the fight because he seems to be okay. That's good news.
That was a Wayne Alexander howitzer. It really was, with a left hand, and he never, ever was going to beat a count of half a minute, let alone 10 seconds.
Well, Wayne Alexander was always the one in the short distance that landed, that he wanted to go to war, he wanted to take the initiative, he wanted to get in top early. Takaloo was cagey, but as I said, I think he's going to regret not taking the initiative a little bit more. But he was the one with the tighter defence, but not here. Look at this. Bang on the chin, couldn't have landed on a more sweet spot, and that's all over. Full credit to Mickey Van. He knew it was over, and he acted swiftly, getting him onto his side, make sure he's not swallowing tongue, and he can breathe properly. But look at this, natural puncher, doesn't have to think about it, slip the lead. There it goes, and you can see the way the punch landed, the jolt it gave to his chin, unbelievable.
What a triumph that is for Wayne Alexander, coming a few months after that terrible defeat against Delroy Mellis. This time he was prepared well, and what a triumph too for his new trainer, John Breen, as well.
Yeah, that's tremendous, because this was on paper a real tough 50-50 match, but I don't think there's a light middleweight in the world, Ian, would take that shot and keep upright.
Pity he couldn't land one like that when he fought Harry Simon for the WBO title. He landed plenty of good ones, but
Ian,
wow.
that would sort out most of them. I mean, that was a peach. It was bang on the button, and you get the full weight of the body, the legs, everything into that shot.
Takaloo, poor Takaloo, was never going to get up from that round two. Wayne Alexander can celebrate. He's all right now. Thank goodness for that. He's such a lovely guy out of the ring, Takaloo. You only wish good things for him, but to be honest with you, nobody could have got up from that shot from Wayne Alexander there tonight. What a triumph that is for Alexander, and the crowd here are still buzzing and talking about that, and he can go home now. He's been away from his little girl Sade for a long time, and he's going to go home with a very, very happy story to tell.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute and 58 seconds of round number 2, referee Mickey Van has dispensed with a count to protect the boxer Takaloo, your winner, and he is the new WBU's light middleweight champion of the world from Croydon, Wayne the Great Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation for the former champion, who's doing well with his recovery, Takaloo. The commissioner from the World Boxing Union, Tom Fostervall, has presented the championship belt to the winner, Wayne Alexander.